This is just a quick reminder, we don't use the language of flattering here. Calling someone's clothing flattering is very deeply steeped in fatphobia and focuses in on the idea that we should be making choices to wear clothing that makes our bellies look smaller, hides them, or disguises our natural shape.
Hello YouTube, and welcome to the Body Honesty Project. My name is Lydia, and today we are talking all about fashion and the word flattering. And today I have with me an expert on the subject, so I hope you enjoy this conversation with my guest, Mel. Today we are talking about fashion and the word flattering. Joining me today is guest Mel, who you might remember from panel 1. Hi Mel, and thank you for coming back to the channel.
Hi, thank you for having me.
It's great to see you. So today's TikTok is on the use of the word flattering when describing a person's clothing. Now, I did a video on this quite a while ago, but I thought it might be more beneficial to get the perspective of someone who actually knows fashion. So Mel, I know that my audience already knows you from panel 1, but they don't know a whole lot about you. So can you give us a more detailed introduction about yourself, including your fashion background?
Sure. So I've been sewing since I was about 7. And I got into cosplay while I was a teenager, and then I went to school for fashion and pattern making. I have worked in the industry. I've worked on stage productions, and actually clothed people of all sizes, from the skinny minis to people who the fat acceptance community would call super fat. And I had a line of my own at one point, and I have worked with major retailers before, in the decision-making room.
So you're bringing a whole lot of perspective and experience to this conversation, obviously. But before we get into the TikTok, I'd like to know from your perspective what the word flattering means. Because for me, flattering is not all about being perceived as being thinner. I mean, something can be flattering because it's color, brings out your eyes, goes well with your hair, or accentuates a body part, but it doesn't necessarily mean making you look thin. It could just make your legs look nice, or it makes your shoulders look nice, or something that you're proud of to show off. What is your definition of flattering?
So for me, honestly, I think that it's just elevating your basic appearance in a more artistic way. So if you go to a museum that's all about proportion, right? And a painting, so they want the scale right. If you look at fashion history, sometimes people are looking like couches because they're trying to go after a specific silhouette. I think for modern stuff, what I think of as flattering is, does this give you a more interesting shape? Is it smoothing in the areas that you want smoothed, and is it making you feel more confident? So for example, if I wear mustard yellow, it washes me out, but if I wear a color that I look really flattered in, then it is I just look like I'm glowing. And I think that that's an aspect of flattering. I have honestly never thought of it as it makes me look so skinny, because I mean, I've been all the way up to a size 20. You ain't looking skinny when you're a size 20, right?
But you can certainly find something that's flattering.
Exactly. You can still look well put together, and you can look in a way that makes you feel good, and that people will look at you and think, that person did put effort into their outfit.
Yep. Okay, so let's get into the TikTok.
This is just a quick reminder, we don't use the language of flattering here. Calling someone's clothing flattering is very deeply steeped in fatphobia and focuses in on the idea that we should be making choices to wear clothing that makes our bellies look smaller, hides them, or disguises our natural shape.
Mel, what do you have to say about disguising someone's natural shape with their clothing?
I mean, if you put on a suit jacket, that's exactly what you're doing. If you go out in winter and you're wearing your puffy winter jacket, I can't see what your shape is, but beyond that, it's kind of silly, because people are always going to want to look however they want to look, and it's okay, maybe I don't like that my arms look this way, or maybe I'm a little bloated today and I want to wear a flared skirt, because I just don't feel good.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't all clothing disguise our natural shape? Like, isn't the only way to not disguise our natural shape is to run around naked?
Yeah, like I mean, I'm sure we've all seen the video that they're all really mad about of Remy Bader saying, "I don't want to wear Spanx." And it's like something I think a lot of people don't realize is if your Spanx are compressing and painful, then they're too tight. They're not supposed to squeeze you in like a sausage roll. It might still feel like a sausage roll, but like, or sausage case, but it's not supposed to do that. It's supposed to just smooth you out. Like,
Right.
if I wear a tank top under my clothes, then it smooths out some of the little like bulges or whatever without changing me at all. It's completely comfortable, and but I'm still changing my natural shape because I'm not walking around butt naked.
Exactly. And I do want to draw attention to the fact that plus size clothing, I mean, I'm not the seamstress or fashion person. That's why you're here. Isn't it for the most part, though, designed to be somewhat flattering?
Yeah, honestly, like I up until recently, I think her designer's been doing her dirty recently. But like I always tell people, the best possible case scenario once you get to a certain point is Lizzo's stage outfits. Because she has somebody who is custom tailoring the pattern itself to her.
Mhm.
I think some, and like I said, some of those things were choices that somebody who doesn't like her have made recently. But um, at some point it's not that I'm like I just hate fat people and I don't know how to dress them because I've made clothes for myself. I'm not making myself look bad on purpose or something. But if at some point, if you're round, I can't, cut that in and make it nice and flared and also have a piece that will fit on the bolt of fabric.
Right.
Now, you as an individual, of course, are always welcome to want and desire to wear clothing that is flattering. But on my page, I challenge you to do the work of two things. One is to work on unlearning this desire for flattering clothing, and two is to think about how we can be more intentional, particular, and specific in the compliments that we give people. Do we love the color of a shirt because it lights up our face or it draws attention to the color of your eyes? Is an outfit highlighting sharp angles that makes the look very visually interesting or contrasting patterns or colors in a really cool way? Let's reimagine compliments.
Okay, Mel, are you ready to reimagine your compliments?
Oh yeah, absolutely. But first, I'm so glad she gave me permission to want to care about what my clothing looks like. Like, thank you. She has liberated me, and now I can go free myself of the sausage casings and run around literally butt naked.
Right. I really
Um,
dislike how this group, this particular TikToker, but a whole lot of others like her, feel that they are entitled to bold-faced, like, what? I'm just telling you what to do.
yeah.
What's the
And
problem?
it's thought policing too. And it's like some people I think use that in a bad faith term, but if you're telling people that like you can't want to wear those Spanx because if you do, you're being fat phobic or you're being problematic in some way. Like you're thought policing the person and telling them basically, "Oh, you're caring about how you look in the wrong way."
I don't understand how they can differentiate the right way and the wrong way because I'm so confused with the right to change your appearance. So they can drastically change their face with makeup, their hair. They can do stuff that, in my honest opinion, photos of some of these TikTokers with and without makeup is incredibly more drastic of a change to their appearance than if they wore something flattering versus not flattering.
Yeah. Like, okay, let's say I put on a pair of Spanx and then I just put on a dress that fits me okay. Not even the best fitting dress ever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like, okay, I feel great about myself. I got a little shoulder pad, so, it just feels good. And then it's like I've put on a lot of makeup to make myself look like that. And you can't do this, right? Because you wear cake makeup and then after a little while it just settles into the lines. So then you have to go fix up your makeup. And if somebody watching this is somebody who loves to do their makeup, I am all for you doing that. Live your best life because that makes you feel better. You're going to be more confident. And, that's the most flattering thing you can be is confident and smiling. Um, and it's ridiculous though, because it's like, okay, I put on a nice dress that took me 5 minutes to put on. You took 3 hours out of your day to put on makeup and then reapply your heavy makeup all throughout the day so that you look okay.
Mm-hmm. The BOPO movement really confuses me with this because I thought it was about embracing your body and showing off your body. No matter your size, you can flaunt it, wear whatever you want. So Tess Holliday wears whatever she wants. You know what? Some of the time she wears corsets.
Mm-hmm. Oh, how dare she wear a corset? Um, and oh no, but you know what? It's how dare you wear a corset? But if I wear a corset, it's okay because now I feel like a baddie. But you wore a corset because you think that it makes you look skinnier. And that's totally not me projecting my insecurities and jealousy at how you look in that corset.
Exactly. I also wanted to really talk about the rethinking your compliments, because the way that she was putting it out, like, you can compliment someone that shirt brings out the color of your eyes, or that color or looks good on you, that look gives angles, but you can't compliment a person's figure.
Yeah.
But if someone is really proud of a particular body part or something and they want it complimented, like if someone's really muscular and they're wearing a tank top, they kind of maybe they want people to notice their shoulders. Like, I want to know, why is it okay to compliment someone's eyes or their hair, but not okay to say, hey, nice guns?
Oh, because she didn't get nice guns. So if you compliment that person for, the work they put into the gym that she just didn't want to, because anybody can get an okay figure. We can all look like an average person who would be in a Dove ad. But, you know, I don't want to look like Greg Doucette or whoever, and I don't want to put in all of that work. So I'm going to get mad because he has nice guns and I wish I did, but I don't want to do the work.
Exactly. It is a question of priorities, though, when we talk about why it's okay for them to wear a lot of makeup and spend time doing their hair, but not put any effort in on their body. So it's okay to receive a compliment on the thing that they worked hard on, which is their hair and makeup, but not okay for someone else to get a compliment on the thing that they worked hard on, which is their body.
Oh, yeah, because it comes down to jealousy. It's oh, I don't have that thing. And whenever you mentioned it, that reminded me that I don't have that thing. And I can't consume my way to that thing. I have to put in work for it.
Mm-hmm. So I have a couple questions for you as a seamstress. And this is not exactly related to fat acceptance, but things that I happen to notice when I gain weight. And I want to know if you have had to deal with these things as a seamstress when people are lying to themselves. First one, skirts. Sometimes when you gain weight, they get stuck on your hips. This creates the illusion that it's too big in the waist.
Yeah.
I have gone to seamstresses before going, can you take this in? It's too big. And then they gotta go.
Yeah. Oh man. It's always funny because it's like something you have to just manage people's like expectations. Like sometimes people want you to take something out, but it's mass produced and it's like, okay, Can you buy me a second one so that I can get a little strip of fabric from it and put a gusset in for you? Or how about, like, one of the ones that you do to get around that is you find a coordinating fabric to put in, but not everybody wants that, of course. Sometimes people want you to have the exact same fabric that, I don't know, the Walmart had and make this skirt for them. Or like, my favorite though is when I worked in costuming, we always had to remove every single tag out of any piece of clothing. And most dancers don't really care, but you have to do that because you have to protect people's egos, because they don't want to know that you took a medium-sized skirt and you cut it down so that it would fit them perfectly. They want to know that that was an extra small.
Oh my goodness. That's funny.
And then half of the dancers are annoyed that you did that, because now there's this little like itchy part, and it's like, I'm just doing what the boss told me to.
Well, I'm sure in that case though, nobody is any number size. They're all their own size.
Yeah, absolutely. I had one dancer one time. She was a 7.5 on one foot and she'd broken the other one, so it was an 8. So it was just like, nobody is a size. Like, a dress size is a fake thing. It's just something to tell you, okay, this is the range of item. Like, you can look at it as a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's like, okay, at this company, I'm a number 5. I'm not a dress size 12. I am a 5 because that's what their fit model was.
I would just start writing the person's name on this. Like, this is a Mel size, okay? It's not a small, medium, large, it's Mel.
Yeah, and that's a great thing to do. I've known designers who do that. If you work in custom, some people if I'm making custom stuff for you, I'm making Lydia size stuff. I'm not making, I don't know what your size is. Let's say I'm not making a size 2. I'm making a Lydia size.
Okay, Mel. So as someone who knows how to make flattering clothing, can you give my audience some tips on how to be more flattering with their apparel?
The first thing that I would say is that for flattering clothes, it needs to be something that you feel confident and comfortable in. Like, if you see this beautiful organza dress, but it feels itchy, that's going to come across in your appearance, because you're just going to look slightly more uncomfortable. If you like so comfort is the first thing. Step 2 is find colors that you look good in. Like, I look bad in yellow. I'd say step 3 is, okay, you don't have $5 trillion. Don't buy from Shein. Shein is made for people who just want to wear something one time and throw it away. What you want to do is you want to go to a thrift store, look for a couple good items, and then go to a tailor and get them fitted to you. You could do this with just one dress, and that's your dress that you wear when you want to feel like a badass. And honestly, you'll be more comfortable and you'll look way better in like your capsule wardrobe of items that you got fitted than if you're buying a bunch of poorly fitting things that, were mass produced in a factory to be worn one time.
Those are great tips, Mel. Thanks. So before we conclude this call, do you have some final words for my audience?
I think honestly, the biggest thing you can do if you don't feel great about yourself is not going and spending hundreds of dollars a month on beauty rituals. It's figure out, like, get a good skincare routine going. Be clean. And the biggest thing is your confidence. The best thing you can do for that is every day when you're feeling a little bad, just look in the mirror and tell yourself 3 things you like about yourself. If you don't have 3, start with 1 and work from there. Or ask somebody you trust, hey, what's something you like about me? Like, that is going to be that's probably even going to be better than a gym membership for you, honestly.
That's some great advice, Mel. Thanks so much. Well, Mel, thank you so much for coming back on the channel. This discussion has been a lot of fun, and I appreciate having someone who knows something about fashion other than what's the cheapest thing on the rack, because that's how I shop. So once again, thank you, and I hope you come back someday.
Thanks. It was absolutely my pleasure. And thank you for having me back on.
I'd like to thank Mel once again for joining me today. I truly appreciate her perspective as a seamstress and someone who has worked deeply in the fashion industry. I know I'm going to keep her words in mind the next time I pick out something that is flattering. So until next time, stay body positive, but also body honest.